Welcome, I'm Wim Provoost and I'm the Technical Product Manager at CloudFounders. As you probably know, the CloudFrames software allows to turn x86 hardware into a private cloud. This private cloud consists out of computing capacity and storage capacity. In this video tutorial, I will show you how to interconnect these two capacities together and cable them correctly. Before we can do the actual cabling, I need to explain you how the networking is done within the CloudFrames software. The CloudFrames software uses different components such as compute nodes and storage nodes. Let's see how we can interconnect these two together with networks. Well, first of all, we have the public network. The public network interconnects the compute nodes and the storage nodes and is used by the virtual machines to get access to the internet. We will be using a blue network cable when doing the actual cabling. Next, we have the management network. The management network interconnects the compute nodes and the storage nodes and is used to do the actual management of the environment. We will be using a gray network cable for this network. Third network is the storage front-end network and combines all the compute nodes and the storage nodes and is used by the virtual machines to get access to their data on the storage nodes. Orange is the color for this network. And finally, we have a bit of a lonely network. The storage backend combines only the storage nodes and is used to spread all the data across all the storage nodes. Purple is the color of this network. It is essential to cable the network correctly, otherwise the software will not work properly. So let me show you how to do this. In our private cloud, we have here 3 storage nodes. We have 2 unmanaged gigabit switches. One of these switches will be the public switch and is connected with the red cable to the office network and to the internet. We have a second switch. This is the private switch, and this one is dedicated to the CloudFrames environment. And we have 2 compute nodes which will be running your virtual machines. Okay, so let's get started with cabling the public network with the blue network cables. First of all, we take the storage nodes and we insert the network cable into the NIC with the blue dot. The other end goes into the public switch. I selected here the upper left network port. We take the second cable and we insert it again into the NIC with the blue dot. So this is the NIC of the storage node. And we insert the other end in the public switch next to the port which is already occupied with the blue network cable. And lastly, we take the third storage node, insert the cable again, and actually we can take any of the ports on the public switch, but it's for easier to keep them together because they form one network. That's it for the storage nodes. Let's now do the compute nodes. Take the blue network cable and actually I can insert it into any of the NICs of the compute nodes. So let's take this one. The other end of the network cable goes into the public switch. It's time for the last blue cable. We insert it into the same network port as the one we selected before on the first compute node. And the other end goes into the public switch. For the management network, we use the gray network cables. We insert the network cables into the storage node in the NIC with the gray dot. The other end of the network cable goes into the private switch. We take the second network cable and again we put it in the NIC with the gray dot. The other end goes next to the first one in the private switch, keeping them together. We use the third cable and again we put it inside the port of the storage node with the gray dot. The other end goes again in the private switch, keeping them together. That's it for the storage nodes. Let's now do the compute nodes. We can again take any of the ports, but I'll select the one next to the blue cables. And again we put it into the private switch. For the second node we do the same. We enter the network cable in the port and the other part in the private switch, keeping them again together. So that's it for the management network. Let's now do the storage front end. For the storage front-end network, we will take the orange network cables. Again, we put them into the NIC with the orange dot of the storage nodes. I'll do them all at once now. And the third one. The other ends of the network cables go into the private switch. That's it for the storage node. Let's now take a look at the compute nodes. In case your compute node has 2 NICs, then the gray network cable will also function as the orange network cable. But in my case, I have more than 2 NICs in my compute node, so I can use additional orange network cables to cable the storage front end. This will improve the speed of my storage. Last but not least, we will use the purple cables. These cables are used for the storage backend network. The storage backend network is used to spread all the data across all the nodes in your storage. The end of the network cables are inserted into the private switch. Okay, so this is how you cable all nodes correctly and so the CloudFrames software works correctly. If you still want more information, you can always visit the installation guide on our website. Thank you for your time.